there's a difference between a peacetime and a wartime mentality. A great illustration of this, how many have ever watched the movie Pearl Harbor? Anybody here besides me? Okay. And if you remember that story, everybody was in Hawaii, and they were on kind of a lark, really. I mean, who wouldn't be, living in Hawaii? And they had the naval base there, and there's no reason for them to be on high alert. I mean, after all, it was peacetime. And so the movie at the beginning went about where people would do their jobs on the ship, and they weren't living for their job. They were living to get off. They were living to go into town and meet girls and to have a good time. And, of course, there were love stories going on, so all the ladies would, of course, want to watch the movie, I guess. But there was a lot of love stories. I don't know how much those love stories were true, but it made the story a little bit more interesting, I think. And so I never will forget the admiral. I think it was the admiral on the golf course. And they came to him and said, sir, we have these things on our radar coming in. I think they're ships, planes, whatever. And he looked at it and he says, well, check it out. I think it'll be okay. I haven't heard anything, so it must be okay. Well, all the time, the Japanese ships were coming toward Pearl Harbor, and the planes were already taking off. And he was playing golf, and he just teed it up and hit another ball. Why should he? He said, well, that's just terrible. Why should he be on high alert? It was peacetime. It was peacetime. Now, once the guns started going off, all of a sudden, everybody got into wartime. They weren't worried about, well, I'm worried about getting off here. I'm worried about, this leave. I got to leave my gun and go on leave. No, they were fighting the battle. They were on the alert. They knew, and here's the wartime mentality. You're on the alert, and you know your job makes a difference. Tom Rayner, president of Lifeway, said that one of the reasons why church attendance is declining is not because people are dropping out. It's just people aren't coming as often anymore. Hello? People used to come every Sunday. Now, 3 out of 4. 3 out of 4 Sunday people now coming about half the time, and others about a quarter of the time. What does that spell? That spells a peacetime mentality. Hey, I'm saved. If everybody wants to get saved, they can come. And I know I'm kind of tired. I'm not going to do a whole lot. It's not everybody's in that. Certainly we look at people building on to Christmas Village. They're more in a wartime mentality. People that are witnessing are in the wartime mentality. And it's nothing wrong with leaving your post, by the way. People say, well, I'm just going to, in a wartime mentality, the people on one of those ships at Pearl Harbor not going to say, well, I think I've shot enough guns for right now. I'm going to go into town, and I'm going to have a drink or two and meet somebody, and, somebody just take this gun over. If during a wartime, if you ever leave your post, you've got to make sure someone takes your post. Why? Because your job is important. And you're on the alert of everything that's going on. It's not just here in Central Florida. The church today has a peacetime, in general, a peacetime mentality. We don't have time off to have time off. We live for the time off. We're not living for what we can do for Jesus Christ. So we're not on the alert. And so when opportunity strikes, we don't even see it. We don't even see the opportunity to enlarge the border unless we see it through our own eyes and not through his eyes, because we're not on the alert. And things aren't really safe for the kids. Things aren't safe, you might say, just like in wartime, for the country. We are in a peacetime mentality. Dear friends, if we're going to enlarge our borders as a church, and if you were going to enlarge your borders as a person of God, then you have to have the wartime mentality. Otherwise, we're just run around in circles all the time.